Mahesh Dattani is a prominent Indian playwright, filmmaker, and a director. He is known for his contributions to contemporary Indian theatre. He is recognized for addressing social issues, gender, and identity in his works. He often highlights the complexities of human relationships. To further know about his theatrical works, his plays are notable for their exploration of marginalized voices and themes such as sexuality and family dynamics. Some of his most plays include Final Solutions, Dance Like a Man, and Tara. In Final Solutions, it is a poignant exploration of communal tensions and identity. In Dance Like a Man, he focuses on the struggles of a male dancer in a conservative society. Tara examines issues of gender discrimination and parental favoritism. Moreover, Dattani has received several awards for his work, including the Sahitya Academy Award in 1998, making him the first playwright in English to receive this honor. Mahesh Dattani is regarded as one of the leading figures in Indian English theatre. His works has contributed to the growing recognition of theatre as a serious form of artistic expression in India. And he also continues to inspire the new generation of playwrights and the theatre practitioners. Mahesh Dattani wrote Final Solutions as a response to the growing communal tensions and violence in India. The communal tensions in Final Solution, Dattani was deeply affected by the rise of communal violence in the late 20th century. To proceed with the personal and political dynamics, the characters in the play navigate the personal dilemmas against the backdrop of the political turmoil, showcasing how external conflicts influence the personal relationships. Dattani also highlights that the struggle against the communalism is not just a political issue but a deeply personal one. By presenting uncomfortable truths and challenging societal norms, Dattani aims to provoke the audience into reflecting on their beliefs and actions. The play serves as a mirror to the society, encouraging viewers to confront their complicity in the communal tensions.
The play Final Solution opens with Daksha reading out what she has just written in her diary dated 31 March 1948. She shares with dejection that she can never become a singer as her husband Hari doesn't allow her to do so. She also describes her friendship with SHIRLYN, a Muslim girl. The scene then changes to the present where a Hindu mob create a ruckus against the Muslims, accusing that they broke the wrath, fell their gods and slit the pujari's stomach. In the next scene, two young Muslim lads, Bobby and Javed, arrive at a margon and are caught by the mob. They escape to Ramnik's house, who welcomes them despite of being threatened by the mob. But Ramnik's wife Aruna warns Ramnik that do not go near them, they might have knives. This shows that each communities have prejudiced notions over each other. And in the next act, Smita, Ramnik's daughter, confesses that she knows both the boys as they are the acquaintance of Tasneem, her best friend. During a conversation, Ramnik with a dejection states that if you treat peace as a commodity and you go looking for it, you will find it hidden in the armpits of the majority. This mirrors the dominance of the majority community over a minority. But Ramnik had never thought of being a majority, which shows that he is broad-minded unlike the others around him. In the next act, Bibin confesses that Javed was humiliated by a man who wiped the letter with a cloth which was just delivered by Javed. So this is how this is how communal hatred are gone within kids too. Bobby admits that he changed his name from Babin to Bobby as he was also ashamed of not belonging to the majority. So Aruna asks Smita to fetch water for her puja and doesn't allow Babin to touch it as he might contaminate it according to her beliefs. But Smita asks Bobby to do so because to prove that it is not going to fly off into the heavens with his touch, putting an eternal curse on her family. In the last scene, Ramnik confesses that he and his father and his grandfather burned Zareen's father's shop in the name of communal hatred. This leaves Hardika stunned and surprised. This also brings us to the end of the novel. Ramnik feels guilty for their action. The play ends reflecting the ever prevailing social evils and communal hatred in all corners of the country.
In Final Solution by Mahesh Dattani, several themes are explored. First, communal conflict. The play delves into the tension between religious communities in India, particularly Hindus and Muslims, and the conflicts of communal violence. The second theme is identity and belonging. Characters struggle with the cultural and religious identity, examining how these factors shape their sense of belonging. Third is memory and trauma. The impact of past violence on individuals and family is central theme, highlighting how trauma affects the relationship and personal histories. The fourth is prejudice and stereotypes. The play critiques political prejudice, illustrating how stereotypes can perpetuate conflict and misunderstanding. Last but not least, the play also explores search for understanding. It emphasizes the importance of dialogue and empathy in overcoming division, encouraging characters and audience to confront their biases. These themes collectively reflect on the complexities of communal relationship in a society and the need for a reconciliation in a diverse society.
Hello everyone, I'm Kanishka and I'll be presenting an introduction to Harvest by Manjula Padmanabhan. Let's talk about Manjula Padmanabhan. She's a well-known Indian author, playwright and illustrator. Born in 1953, she grew up in various countries including Sweden, Pakistan and Thailand, which gives her work a really diverse perspective. She started making waves in theatre with her play Lights Out back in 1986, which tackled issues of urban violence, but it was her 1997 play Harvest that really brought her international acclaim. This play is set in a dystopian future and explores some heavy themes like commodification of human bodies and the stark divide between the rich and the poor. It raises critical ethical questions about organ trafficking and survival in the capitalist society. Now let's look at the impact of Harvest. It won the Onassis Prize for Theatre in 1997, which is a pretty big deal and helped catapult Padmanabhan into the international spotlight. The play has been translated into several languages and performed all over the world, which speaks to its universal themes of exploitation and body politics. It's a piece that resonates with many because it dives deep into issues like global capitalism and technological exploitation. Today, Harvest is considered a key text in dystopian theatre studies, and it really cements Padmanabhan's reputation as a leading voice in contemporary Indian theatre.
Now let us look into the biopolitics in the play Harvest, written by Manjula Padmanabhan. Biopolitics, a concept articulated by Michel Foucault, examines the strategies and mechanisms through which human life is managed under regimes of authority and governance. In a biopolitical regime, the human body becomes a site of control, discipline, and exploitation. In the play Harvest, this biopolitical control is exercised through the commodification of human organs, a process that dehumanizes individuals by reducing them to their biological parts. Padmanabhan portrays a dystopian world where an individual's worth is measured by the state of their organs. The protagonist, Om Prakash's body, is subjected to stringent medical examinations, dietary regulations, and invasive technologies to ensure that it remains viable for the recipient in the first world. Thus, we can see that this process reflects the biopolitical management of the body, where Om no longer has agency over his own existence. Further, the surveillance and control exercised over Om's body by the Interplantar Services, that is a fictional corporation facilitating the organ trade, are emblematic of the biopolitical state. Through the figure of Genie and the technological apparatus that monitors Om's every move, Padmanabhan critiques the ethical implications of a world where human bodies are manipulated and exploited under the guise of medical and technological advancement. The character of Ma, Om's mother, embodies the struggles faced by marginalized individuals in a biopolitical landscape. Her desperation and vulnerability highlight the extent to which individuals are subjected to the whims of powerful entities. Ma's deteriorating health and her willingness to sacrifice her son for financial security underscores the moral complexities and ethical dilemmas inherent in a society that reduces human life to a monetary value.
I'll be dealing with the themes of Harvest by Manjula Padmanabhan. So it is a scathing critique of the evils of globalization, particularly focusing on the exploitative consequences for the developing nations and the dehumanizing impact on individuals as well as families. So there are 7 themes, and the first one is neo-colonial intervention. So the entry of interplantar services into the lives of the protagonist Om and his family symbolizes the intrusions of external forces into the affairs of developing nations. So the transformation of Om's living conditions mirrors the impact of external entities that claim to bring progress, but in reality that exploit the vulnerable. Next, it is the surveillance and control. The interaction of the contact module serve as a metaphor for the constant surveillance and control exerted by the external powers, particularly the developed world. So the constant gaze of the receiver Jenny reflects the power dynamics inherent in the globalized system, where the first world exerts control over the lives of those in developing world. Later, we have powerlessness and exploitation. So the play portrays the economic desperation of the characters, especially Om, who faced with limited opportunities, decides to become an organ donor. The exploitation of Om and his family becomes a stark illusion of the imbalances perpetuated by the global economic system. Later, we have panoptic power relations. So the play explores the concept of panopticon, where the constant visibility induced by the constant contact module creates a consciousness of surveillance. So the power relation within the family, particularly Om's ability to resist familial ties under the influence of Ginny's expectation, align with Foucault's ideas on the functioning of panopticism. So later we have something called as resistance and defiance. So while the characters in the play faces overwhelming challenges, Jaya emerges as a symbol of resistance. She refuses to succumb entirely to the inhuman situation imposed by the external forces. So Jaya's determination to win by losing signifies a form of resistance against the oppressive structures of the first world. Later, we have silence as resistance. So the play explores the multifaceted nature of the silence, representing both powerlessness and resistance. So it becomes a tool for the powerful, as seen in Om discouraging Jaya's decision to nurse Cheetu back to health. Simultaneously, Jaya's silence becomes a form of subversion, a strategy of resistance against the oppressive power structures that seek to control and exploit. Finally, we have feminist perspective. So the play dwells into the feminist dimensions of Padmanabhan's work, emphasizing our plays bring women's experiences and struggles to the forefront. So the realistic portrayal of women's reaction to societal issues such as rape in Lights Out and the impact of organ sale in West challenges conventional narratives and offers a unique perspective on social and political issues. So with this, I have did a thematic study of the play, based by Manjula Padmanabhan. Thank you.